technical difficulties. We're going to show a demo, but we won't. If you come to our poster, we'll show you a demo. So yeah, but for this slideshow, I'm Ari.
Alex.
And I'm Ty. And
this microphone's on the desk there.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Probably turn them on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is Chess Predict. I'm really excited to present this to you guys. Chess Predict started from a situation I had where like my mathematician Russian dad like loved teaching me chess as a kid, and I never could really get the hang of it. I could never beat him, but I always wanted to. So with my newfound software skills, I decided I wanted to develop technology where I could use it to beat him. So that's Chess Predict.
All right, so why did we make Chess Predict? What is the justification? So right now, new players, including myself, very inexperienced in chess. There's a large barrier to entry. Like if I were to play Ari, he would dominate me. I wouldn't have a chance. So like playing a friend, a family member that's much more experienced to you, it's hard to get into chess if you don't have background playing it. So that's one big reason. As well, it makes a level playing field, like I mentioned, and it will be a challenge for experienced players. So if I go up against someone that's way better than me, but I'm able to use Chess Predict to find the optimal move a certain amount of times, it's challenging for him, and I'm learning myself. So also there's a contract feature, which ensures you can't use the optimal move every single time, or the experienced player just wouldn't be able to win. So the point of that is to make it more for learning, an emphasis for learning, see the analysis, and then like I mentioned with the analysis, it's new ways to think for experienced players. So they might think they have the best move. You can use Chess Predict, see the optimal move, and then see why that is a better move than the one you're thinking. So it helps experienced players and beginners. So goals, long-term direction. So we want this to be a learning platform, not just a way to cheat and win every time. So it's an equalizer for playing with your friends that are better for you. Like Ari mentioned, you can finally take down his dad. And maybe through like learning the optimal moves, you can consistently beat him without having to use Chess Predict. And then as I mentioned with the contracts, we have informal contracts, informal quote unquote, so it limits the number of times someone can use the Chess Predict in a game.
All right, so some of the challenges and risks we have, given that we're using LLMs, we are experiencing a little bit of hallucinations that come with that. And it's interesting to visualize and fine-tune that as we see it going on.
Yeah, and I just want to add about the backend server. Interesting technical problem is because we're using a TensorFlow convolutional neural net. It's sometimes the process tends to get killed on the CPU, and that was a problem when we were using a Flask development server. But since switching to a Unicorn production server, it's kind of been alleviated because the workers just restart, which is useful.
All right, so how this actually works. So on our website, we have a way to upload a screenshot of a chess game, and that chess screenshot gets converted through a convolutional neural network to Fen notation, which is just standard chess notation. And then it takes that move and sends it back to another neural network known as Stockfish, and it produces the best move, and that gets returned in image format to the website. And we also have a API call to Claude 3's Opus, so we take it and send the current best move, and it generates an analysis to help the player. And also there's an ethical move reminder with the contract as saved. So here's an example of the analysis we actually have in this position. We gave it this chess board, and it was black to move. So Stockfish did find that queen from D to G1 was the right move to sacrifice there. And in the analysis portion, it did a good job. It did hallucinate some pieces, however. So I believe there was a white queen on G1, which was not the case. But the Stockfish does do a very good job at finding the right move.
Yeah, so we're going to show a live demo. The site is live. If you want to try it, you can use like a chess.com game or puzzle and go to chesspredict.com and try it. It's fun. Yeah, so in conclusion, we hope this is going to be like a revolutionary thing for leveling the playing field between experienced and new chess players. Yeah, it's similar to learning development, and there's also a lot of room for expansion with this technology. Specifically in two key areas, I think. One is with the LLM hallucinations. There's interesting work that on grounding of large language models, and I think that could be like really interesting to continue pursuing and then like potentially improve the project with. And then the other feature which I've been working on brainstorming, which is real chessboard detection, because right now it only works with digital chessboards. So the problem for real chessboards is definitely like tractable and solvable. The only thing is it would require outsourcing and data collection because there's so many variable chessboards, but that's like something we hope to do in the future. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and I guess no questions. Dr. Johnson, are there questions? Or,
Yes,
okay.
absolutely questions.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Let's see if we can get you hooked up so you can do your demo.
Oh, that'd be yeah.
In the meantime,
We
any
can
questions?
take questions in the meantime if anyone has.
Questions? There's one.
You mentioned hallucination showing appear in LLM. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah, good question. So basically, we're passing in the Fen position that the convnet gets from the chessboard to the LLM and saying, prompting it, we're saying like, hey, given this Fen position, this algorithmic chess notation, figure out an analysis of the board position. And it's interesting because GPT-4, for example, will hallucinate a lot more in terms of the pieces and the analysis of the position than Claude Opus. And it's interesting because it gives you some insight into the training data that the models were used to train.
So it's essentially like the LLM is like making up things that aren't there.
Right, like it'll hallucinate that it's white's move if we said it's black's move, or it'll add like a pawn on the board. So I think it's like a token problem, which is quite interesting because like basically with like smaller tasks, like with smaller character prompts for LLMs, I think like they encounter more issues because there's like the tokenization step before the actual processing of the text in the neural network. So I think it has some issues with the Fed notation in that regard. I'm not sure that. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about which pieces were pre-made into this equation? Like it sounded like you brought in ChatGPT maybe as an existing model versus building your own LLM in the process of this.
Yeah.
Which pieces were interfaced in, and which pieces you ended up making from scratch?
Yeah. So you can type it with Stockfish, and I can talk about the content.
Yeah, so Stockfish is a chess AI that already exists outside of our application, but we just call it through its API for that case. It's the best reference about zero. So with the convolutional neural network for the image capabilities of the
Yeah, so the Stockfish is using Stockfish package, and then the convnet is, we basically found an open source GitHub repository that has a convolutional neural net that's pre-trained on digital chessboard images from like different online sites like Chess Predict or Chess, and so that was like a lucky find, and we were able to integrate that. But actually would have been much easier to develop the training data for anyways than real chessboards, because if you have the digital chessboard image from League Chess, you're able to just get the Fen notation. So that's already like you have the XY labeled pairs that you would want to train on. And with real chessboards, it's very hard because you have to have manual people.
Do what else? Doesn't take pictures. The woman was vilified on social media after the incident went viral.
Let's take a look at your Friday forecast.
Okay, cool. So we can show you guys a demo, so this will be fun. Okay, so obviously we want to make the UI better and whatnot. Cute little cartoon. So yeah, so let's say you go to chess.com and we'll try it with a puzzle here. Okay, so this is like a pretty simple puzzle. Does anyone want to guess what the best move is for black?
What do you say?
What?
Queen h4.
Queen to h4. Okay,
That's my
cool.
guess.
Cool.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Use chess.
Let's see if Dr. Toll can be chess player.
I'm not gonna know.
Take a screenshot.
That'd be a pretty good move to do.
Take a screenshot of the image. Drag it in. Oops. Dragged it to the wrong spot. Make sure you select black move, so black move, get best move. Should be pretty quick. Perfect. Queen.
Oh.
To h4. Let's see if that's correct. From chess.com. Yeah. Yay. Now we can get an analysis. It takes a little bit of time, maybe like 10, 15 seconds. And nobody really wants to read a block of text, but we'll just show you that it can provide some.
Ari, for a second there, the image looks flipped though. The queen went to the right.
Yeah, this is an interesting point. Basically, the image is to the right because it's from the perspective of light. If we had flipped the board, if we had flipped the board, then the notation of the best move would be wrong. Yeah. So then this is the analysis down here. It says the suggested move DH4 is an aggressive queen maneuver that aims to put pressure on white's king side. By moving the queen to h4, black tries to capture the pawn on f2. I'm not exactly sure if that's a hallucination or if the LM knows something I don't, because you can't directly compute or you can't directly capture the pawn on f2, but maybe it's saying something. Yeah, I don't know. But that's something to figure out.
Queens or kings or chickens?
The white king's in check. Yeah. So.